I want to share to you a topic that is intellectual once again, such as why investing on learning is important before investing your money. So the goal of this topic is to explain bakit mas importante yung mag-invest ka muna sa mga learnings or knowledge, experience around the world, happiness, fulfillment, other than engaging on investing your money or resources hopefully on any other type of asset investment. It's because investing in learning is the best kind of realization we can receive in our life. That understanding the world around us has much more fulfilling sense than earning a large of money that was only created by human beings. Kasi pag nauna kang natuto, nauna kang nagkaroon ng fulfillment, ng realization na napakaganda ng mundo, gusto mong malaman, gusto mong matutunan yung any kind of learning around the world without the exchange of resources, it's the most fulfilling experience we can have in our life. Na wala ka munang iniisip ng mga budget, wala ka munang iniisip ng mga financial expenses or income, paano tutubo ang pera mo. All you can think of how you can explore the world around you. How you can achieve the maximum experience. What is life? What is the most important question in life? How far are the stars? How big are the stars? That's very unique. That's the kind of learning or experience, realization in life that money can't buy. No matter how rich you are, how poor you are, as long as you are eager to learn, investing on learning is much more fulfilling than investing to earn a money. So I'll give an example. This is my life. So in the past, I experienced more interest or more motivation on the things I'd like to do, I'd like to explore, such as nag-engage ako sa pag-study ng astronomy, physics, mathematics, psychology, earth science. Lahat yan pinag-iralan ko. Lahat yan gusto kong matutunan in exchange of no amount of wealth. So that was the most fulfilling thing I've done in the past. Lately ko lang na-realize yung interest sa money and financial aspect. Even though I've been a graduate of a business administration, I never had the interest on pursuing much about financial literacy other than exploring other things. Kasi when I was engaged on a different field of studies, I realized that it was easy for me to diversify the content that I want to pursue, such as creating a YouTube channel. So, for us to really understand why investing on learning is best before becoming financially literate is that you can use your past learning as your advantage into a financial perspective in your career. You see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businessmen engage on growing their wealth over time. If you notice, those people who have gone onto that path too early, meron silang business aspect na napaka-dry kung titignan mo kasi they just like to earn money. They don't see that other field, such as they lack the scientific understanding what their business can be an impact to the people. They lack this knowledge to explore the boundary that the goal of the business is to help people, is to help their consumers, not to be a toxic way in our civilization. So you can see that what I meant about dry business is that, such as engaging on illegal activities or illegal businesses, drug lord, the weteng, gambling. It requires no amount of science, it requires no amount of morality, but businessmen are attracted onto it because they are attracted on wealth building other than how their business can affect the people around them. Another example is that the oil industry, or in the Middle East, very rampant yung oil industry in Middle East. So if you have the land, you have the oil underneath your land, you become rich already. But that's a very dry way to become rich, because in the modern bureaucratic capitalism world, especially in the 21st century, rich people of today had come onto their struggle how to create technology that can be used by mankind, that can be leveraged. But in terms of oil, natural resources around you, it's just luck. It's just pure luck, and it requires no knowledge, no learning. What wealth you had receive is pure luck. This is the reason why pinamanahan ka ng pera ng parents mo, o pinamanahan ka ng pera, nanalo ka ng loto, or fossil dinosaur had been discovered underneath your land. Those are wealth creation. Those are financial perspective, or without much the introspect of scientific technology or business technology. This kind of financial perspective can make you rich so quickly, but else can make you poor very quickly also. So it is important that our past learnings, our study into psychology, our study into physics, mathematics, any branch of field which can be embedded into our financial perspective is very useful in the long run, or in the modern world. So number 2 is that most successful businesses were future and knowledge-oriented companies. So what I meant here is that if you started your business too young, without much diversified your knowledge in different field and engage on business, there's a high probability chance that your business will die soon, or will not make much of an understanding to the people. Just take for example Facebook. Facebook was started by a 19-year-old person from Silicon Valley, Mark Zuckerberg. I was talking to the CEO. This teenager doesn't have much the knowledge what the impact of social media, what the impact of Facebook, until this kind of business grew over time that it damages every single people on earth. You see, Facebook is very profitable business. Pero if you see the impact of Facebook in our current generation, it becomes a toxic. Not because it was started by a 19-year-old CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, but maybe because the Facebook was created so young that they lack component to make social media a useful tool instead of becoming an addictive tool that consume most of the people's time. So in this kind of example, most successful businesses were future and knowledge oriented. I'd like to example the Amazon.com. It was a retail online store. It was started by this 30-year-old Jeff Bezos, who was now a 50-year-old adult and was the richest man and soon to be the first trillionaire in our generation. This successful CEO started his career as a physics student, then a computer engineering student. Then he went work onto financial aspect. So he had this 3 kind of field in his career. Jeff Bezos was very qualified to be the person, to be that role of becoming a billionaire in his status, because he created an empire of Amazon. Amazon.com was making an impact future to future. So they started on 1994 and still continue to expand their empire, because the best philosophy of Jeff Bezos was to focus on long term and see the future quality of businesses ahead of time. He had an interest on space tourism. So you see, his interest in space tourism led him to create the Blue Origin, or a space technology company that would soon hope to colonize the field of moon and create a space tourism, which is very futuristic, na mismo kahit tayong mga Pinoy hindi natin ma-imagine na may ganun in the next few years, because successful CEO like Jeff Bezos are very interested on pursuing that kind of mission before he leave on earth. So last but not the least is that number 3, you realize that there is more to life than growing wealth and investment. So na-realize ko ito nung way back I was on college, that I was really had this interest on science and technology, and that understanding the world around me sparks my curiosity every time. Every day I woke up in the morning, I sleep, I always think about a question in the real world: how, why, when, where. That awakes my mind back then. You see, kung tititig ka lang sa stars, sa moon, when you are still young, you're still child, you ask a lot of questions. What is there? What was above there? Pag nakikita mo yung star, hindi naman na nakikita mo lang, tinitignan mo lang. Siyempre, nagkakaroon ka ng realization na nagtatanong ka, paano nagawa? Paanong nandyan yun? what is the purpose of our existence around the world? That was the fundamental question that money can't buy, money can solve. So you realize that there's really more to life than this kind of wealth and investment. I remember that during 2014, I was unemployed. I graduated in college. Then, nag-apply ako sa different kind of companies. And I was very unlucky. I was very eager to find a job because I want to earn. I really want to earn. I really want to save money, to grow my career. But I was failed. For 11 months, tumambay ako eh. I was broke, depressed back then. I was very stressed that I think my life was over. My life was, I can never be a successful person. Then, for those months of struggling, after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, I give up. I already give up and I pursue another path. The path that I never had regret. The path where hindi pa uso yung stay at home yung mga time na yun. But it was like a COVID days that I only stayed at home for several months. Then I realized that I think I need to find another alternative to supplement this kind of depressing moments in my life. So I started what I'd like to study. I studied the things that money can't buy, self-learning, interests that no require amount of diploma or status. I learned how the scientific revolution was begun. I learned chemistry. I learned Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was actually the greatest scientist I've ever discovered back then. It changed my life. The life that money can't buy. The life that money can solve. Until those companies that I had applied, I already given up. Kasi feel ko hindi naman ako matatanggap. I know I had no amount of qualification back then. But when I started to study the whole concept of sciences, until December, I was called to pursue an examination. Then, all of a sudden, I never realized I become top examiners who had passed an examination in BIR. Another one is that I pass again. So I realized back then that instead of chasing money, you chase the path that what makes you a valuable person. That what makes you interest the most. Kasi yung pera, success, or job application will only chase you afterwards. If you already had this qualification, this valuable tool to become part of it. So, binura ko sa mindset ko na maghabol ng mga kumpanya na gusto kong applyan. And, inabsorb ko yung philosophy na money should chase me. Success should chase me. I realized that the more I become interested on money, the more I become interested on chasing money, the more it runs away. Kumbaga, hahabulin ko ang pera, lumalayo. Hahabulin ko ang status, ang success, lumalayo. Until I give up, and focus more on the things I want to learn. My interest in life, my passion. Then all of a sudden, they come. Money will come. Success will come. Wealth will come. That's the weird realization I realized back then. So, I had discovered this Einstein famous quote that he said that, try not to become a man of success, but try to become a man of value. After 11 months, my destiny had given up. Siguro sinabi ng destiny, tinamad na siya na magtatambay na lang ako for 11 months. So, he had given me a chance to be hired on BIR, and until such time, I was hired on my regular position as a budget officer. That was the turning table of my career back then. And I wouldn't not regret investing on learning first than investing my mind on earning money and wealth.